To another episode of FinTech Fridays. I'm joined by a recurring guest
Hey,
now on the show, Stephen Cooley. Stephen is the founder of an awesome product and company, Mortgage Advisor Tools. I say awesome because I'm a client. FinLocker
uh,
is a new client of the platform. We just went live a few weeks ago. So, Stephen,
yeah,
welcome back to the podcast.
we hooked you in. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. No, we got you. Yeah,
Right on. Yeah, you and I have had we've been kind of at this for a while,
yeah.
and we got it. We got to a place where it made sense for both of us to do something. I'm excited to be out there.
Was
I
it?
spend a lot of time on the platform, kind of checking it out,
Yeah,
and it's come a long way, man. I think from the first
yeah,
time you and I talked, it was probably before you published the product, published the site, and it
right.
is it's pretty special today. And I
Yes.
think people need to know about it. I think our industry needs to know of this resource, and so that's what I want to spend time today really talking about is what is the problem that you sought out to solve for, and then how your mortgage advisor tools is solving that problem for both buyers and sellers, frankly, of tools and services.
Yeah, I mean, the key component is a free resource for mortgage lenders to find new technology and services, like an unbelievably free, search engine for them to go in and look at whatever they want. I mean, it's 80 plus categories, about 1,000 companies pre-listed. I'm not sure how many, no one is. I think how many technology companies and services actually serve our space.
Yeah,
But we're probably by a long shot the first of its kind to actually put them all together successfully and drive traffic to it. But that's the mission statement. It's like I think that there is a lender right now that needs help and is looking for a new resource, a replacement or a supplement or or a way to solve a problem that somebody has,
yeah,
and they have no idea where to even begin. And so what they all do is they look it up, and there's just we're not seeing conferences shift change. We're not, and so kind of the familiar faces are always at these things. We're rarely meeting new people necessarily, and there's I think they just reported there's over 5,000 lending institutions at this point. It's
yeah.
obviously growing, which I think's incredible, but
Uh-huh.
they need help. I mean, that's it. It's just like, how can we help, lenders find new stuff, and then by proxy, we get to help vendors, find new customers. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't even know this, but yesterday, literally, I used your platform. I'm doing a little research project, and I am working on I'm not going to name the companies. I'm not even going to name the category, but it's a technology segment of our business.
Yeah.
And at FinLocker, we have to prioritize like where we integrate with which platforms, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was trying to help my product team understand what the market looks like for this particular part of the loan manufacturing process.
Yeah.
And my first inclination was to go to Google, and the second or third link was to Mortgage Advisor Tools, which was awesome. And 2 clicks later, I was in the specific category. I could see the 15 or so vendors, providers for that category, knew a lot of them, a couple that were surprising to me. So
Right.
I share that as I could see a world where, and you got to come up with a word or a verb for this, where, you know, hey, did you mat that? What do you mean mat that? Did you go to
Yeah.
Mortgage Advisor Tools?
It'd be dope if we could have an Uber type thing. But
Yeah,
no, inevitably we will be a part of every buyer journey for any technology. I mean, it's an indirect thing, which is a bit challenging for, our business, being that people have to understand that people look at, depending on what they're buying, at 150 pieces of information before they make a buying decision. Yeah, I mean and the site was built on an SEO infrastructure, which is why you had that experience where you Googled something and we
yeah,
on the first second page, almost all the time now. And so no, it's been a lot of fun. And I mean, and the feedback is incredible. And we're just happy to be of service. I've been doing it 3 years, and I mean, it's taken every bit of it to get it positioned where it's at. I mean, actually, and you don't know this, I mean, we added a paid traffic element to it. We've been all organic for about 9-10 months, and I was hesitant to do it because paid traffic's tricky. I mean, you want to make sure that you're not getting clickbaity traffic
Yeah.
because they exit and they kind of screw up your numbers. And so we did it, and the opposite happened, which was like I'm telling my team, I'm like, we just needed to get in front of more people. I didn't realize it, but like and one of the numbers is a bounce rate. So a bounce rate says if they show up to the site and leave immediately,
Yeah.
that's a bounce rate. Most people have a 30%. Everybody can Google that. What's my bounce rate? And
Yeah.
they'll say it in your analytics. Bounce rate 30%, something like that. And that's totally normal. Ours
Yeah.
is looking at it right now. It's 6%.
Yeah.
And so we have 2,000 people now a week coming to our platform, and on average they look at over 3 pages. And so
Yeah.
it's like we're helping people. Like that's like we know, like in our heart of hearts, and that we are a resource that folks are, finding what they want, finding new things, or they wouldn't spend so much time, or they'd leave. Our bounce rate would be
Yeah.
30%. But it's
So
not.
let's kind of go a little deeper there. And I want to take two views of this. The first view, let's take it from the buyer side, right? Whether
Yeah.
I'm a lender or I'm a loan officer inside of a lender, I'm someone that's considering a new product, service, and or vendor. And this really goes for both sides of this. You described something for me a few months back in a conversation that, essentially mortgage advisory tools is a virtual exhibit hall that's open 24/7, 365.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes.
And so I think as a buyer of products, if I was going to, the annual technology conference, whatever that is,
Yep.
and I'm going there specifically looking for something, and I'm going to spend time on the exhibit hall floor, there's enough information on each of the vendor profiles that you've stood up to at least determine that as a buyer, this is somebody I want to talk to and have a deeper conversation with.
Yes.
And I think that's all you're trying to do on an exhibit hall floor. We're not trying to close deals on exhibit hall floors. We're trying to make sure people are aware that we're here, understand the product and the problem we solve. And on an exhibit hall floor, our goal and objective is to have a deeper conversation, a deeper meeting, whether it's a demo or a presentation that hopefully leads into a buying decision. And I loved your description of this 24/7, 365 kind of place, exhibit hall, if you will.
Yeah. And now traffic wise, I mean, we're averaging about 250 users a day. We're basically having a mortgage conference every day.
Yeah.
Online every day. And so that's huge. I mean, like we're quite literally having one every day. And what you're describing is intent. You're trying to, so you get the attendee list, and you are, I just looked at an old one that had 700 people on it. And so that's the exercise. It's like, okay, I got to cross off all these vendors.
Yeah.
So now it's down to like 300 people. And now I got to decide which one of these people are the decision makers. So now I'm, get rid of all the secondary market guys, and then I'm down to about 100 people, right? And so and that just means they're the decision maker. That doesn't mean they have any intent on buying your product,
right?
And so now you got it down to maybe 1 to 3. I read a great stat the other day that at any given time, only 5% of your total addressable market is shopping for your product.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And so, I mean, if we have 5,000 plus lenders, we're talking about only 250 companies.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, in our, so make sure I'm completing my thought here. But yeah, so, I mean, that is what we're looking for. We're looking for intent. So you got 100 people, you've solidified, these guys can buy. But the truth of it is only 5 of them are actually in the market to buy.
Yeah, at any given time.
And you don't know which ones they are.
Right.
And so that's the difference, is that like I can actually tell you who's ready to buy. because we use search engine optimization. They are taking the action to look you up, find you, identify you, look at your page. That's a buying signal.
Yeah.
I'm shopping for whatever. And so that is, yeah, it's a distinct difference.
We've, FinLocker's only been up for, a few weeks now, but we've already seen some pretty interesting activity. You've shared some pretty big names of companies, people from companies that have been visiting, which is pretty cool. These are, I put myself in the context of if I were standing at a booth at a conference and this person from this company came to my booth, I would be pretty excited about that, right?
Over the moon, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I really, I'm a fan of what you guys have been working on. I love where it is today. I can only imagine where it's going. Anything you want to share that's interesting on the near-term roadmap that people should be aware of that you guys are working on?
I think there's we want to continue to solidify that TAM, that true who is buying. We want to really help folks understand that the way we've done that today is through IP targeting. And so we're able to, we know what lenders are coming to our site every day. And so we know what lenders are coming to your site every day for the most part. And so, I think bridging that gap is the next evolution of it is going, okay, here's the collection of companies that are interested in this type of technology solution. And here are the X amount of companies and trying to figure out how to, monetize and do it in a way that everyone's user experience doesn't turn to a complete Shark Tank. But I mean, it might be the most advantageous way to do it. Good old fashioned, beat each other up until the deal gets closed. I don't know, but no, I mean that's we're gonna stay free and stay on mission and try to help folks discover new stuff.
Love it.
Yep.
So real quick, for our lender friends out there, loan officers, give us the website.
Yes, mortgageadvisortools.com and or Google anything that you're interested in looking for, and you'll find us that way too. And so leave reviews on stuff you like, leave reviews on stuff you hate. It's going to help our industry get better. So that's it.
I love it.
No.
Stephen, it's always great catching up, and I love what you guys are doing. We'll do this again soon and give everybody an update on all things mortgage advisor tools. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Come back in 2 weeks for our next episode of FinTech Fridays.